What's up, folks? Hope you're doing well. This video is all about fail to prepare is preparing to fail. Fail to prepare is preparing to fail. And let me get to why.
My name is Johnny Lee Reinoso, and don't admire, acquire.
I was recently on the phone with a handful of entrepreneurs and a couple heads of sales, and we were having a great call. And for those of you who don't know, you'll see on the date of this video that I'm shooting this after an election took place. Our president-elect right now is Joe Biden, right? Congrats to Joe if he won it fair and square. We're in the process of, counting votes and figuring things out here. And obviously there's going to be a tremendous amount of investment suing one another and figuring things out because that's just the way it works in this game called politics. But the bottom line is this. When I was in this call, we had these business owners and these sales leaders and a few other folks on the call that are ultimately goal getters, that are folks that are trying to achieve tremendous success in their space, in their world, and what they're accomplishing. They had this sense of, oh no, especially the entrepreneurs. Oh no, what are we going to do now? Johnny, what are you going to do now? What are we going to do? If Joe Biden ends up winning, what are we going to do? And I'm going, what do you mean? The tax implication, his corporate taxes, the income tax, the this, the that, all of these policies that are going to affect our business. I get it. Folks. I'm with you. I'm right there with you. I understand. But I basically sat back and said, wait a minute. Joe Biden has been talking about his tax plan for many moons now. Okay? He's already brought it up with Kamala Harris, what exactly he's looking to accomplish, how he's looking to increase the tax by a certain amount, what he's looking to do to folks that make $400,000 and above, or even folks that don't. It's going to impact you with different taxes that are going to affect your payroll, what you're receiving, Social Security increase, et cetera, et cetera. So the net is this. As these business owners are coming to me going, what are we going to do? Oh no. Obviously, I have a handful of friends that are saying, this is great, let's celebrate, and I respect everyone. But with this particular group, what came to mind was, wait a minute here. Have you not started to prepare and strategize for success? This is the fundamental route to how to run a business and how to achieve massive success in business. Even if you're in sales, if you're in operations, by being able to pivot and anticipate what's to come allows you to prepare. If you're not able to anticipate, then you only could react. You only could end up, again, reacting to what's coming your way rather than anticipating. You want to be proactive when you run your business, when you make your decisions. So what am I saying here is, if you're failing to prepare, you're accepting that you're going to fail. You're preparing for failure. It's an absolute must. It's the recipe to success, to strategize, to have strategy coupled with execution. Now, this all stems from having that mindset, the mindset that it's possible. You see, these people, and I'm talking about a few in my circle that I'm on this call with. These folks have companies between $25 and $60 million in revenue. And they're over here pretty much waving the flag, the white flag, don't know what to do, steps away from pretty much saying, I'm laying off half my staff, figuring things out. First of all, let's see things how they are. Taxes won't get increases until they have the ability to increase. Okay? But separate from that, what are you doing to shelter? What are you doing to pivot? Look, New York lost $336 billion during this pandemic because millionaires and billionaires left New York because of how Governor Cuomo ran the city, the state. It just wasn't working for them. So they moved out. Governor Newsom was one of the greatest U-Haul employees, like one of my mentors said in one of his podcasts. One of the greatest U-Haul salesmen in the world. Why? Because he had more U-Hauls hired, contracted, and driving out of the state than into the state. Why? Because of how he was running his state and the decisions that he was making. All of you know I'm not a party person. I'm a capitalist and I'm a policy person. But one of the things that is critical is to recognize that it is up to you to make those necessary decisions and up to you to strategize with your team, with your leadership team, with your circle of influence to start to make that roadmap for success so then you can begin to execute to plan, okay? So just a few ideas, three simple things that you could think about. So when you think about your business, how are you structured right now? right? Talk to your accountant. What are you doing right now with the way your business is structured? Can you shelter money? Can you invest in certain investment funds, in certain retirement plans that can help you shelter some money, right? It's not about greed here. It's about knowing how to capitalize on what's in front of you and recognizing the environment you're in and the environment you're getting into, right? Again, strategize. The second thing is, look at the client, especially this one. This one should hit home for everybody. I don't care who you are. If you're in sales or if you own your own business, if you own your own startup, what clients are you going after? If you're going after an industry that really thrives under a conservative government, then you need to start looking at the industries that can thrive under a more liberal government. Think about that for a second. I was coming into my office and I met a fellow friend here in the parking lot of our building. And we were talking about a few things in this big office building, this beautiful office building here in Boca. We were talking about a few things. And in my way, and I said, how's your business going? He said, it's going okay. He said, I'm excited to see what things could happen now. And I said, really? Well, why? And he says, well, because we're a bunch of engineers and we work directly with the government around subsidized housing. We are the engineers. We are the designers. We plan subsidized housing. That's all that we do. That's our contracts. So obviously, he's in the right pond. He's fishing in the right pond. He had a harder time under the Trump administration. He's going to have an easier time or a better time under the Biden administration because there should be, in theory, more funds towards his business. At the same time, I said to him, how'd you do under the Trump? He says, well, I did pretty good because we pivoted. We pivoted and started focusing on more of the private sector. Bingo. Again, recognizing that you have the ability to control the outcome of your business because what? Decisions, not conditions, will determine your destiny. Focus on that. If your clients that you're going after, if the industry that you've been focused on does not succeed well in an environment that is more fiscally or is more conservative, then focus on the environment that does well in a more liberal type of government structure. And you'll see yourself thriving, okay? And last but not least, prepare your next move. What's your next move? See how you can diversify. Where can you invest? What other companies can you structure, or can you create, or can you start up that'll support maybe the process or the services that you're doing to help you generate more revenue? Now's the time to get creative. Now's the time. It's always time to get creative, but especially when we have a change in administration, especially when we have things that we believe and we know can impact our bottom line tremendously as a CEO of a company with a fair amount of employees, just like probably yourself, or as a head of sales, or as a sales executive, or an executive that is doing fairly well with commissions and structure, and you see yourself starting to figure out, things might come our way that might affect my income. Start to look at ways to diversify and improve your structure. And that only comes when you spend time strategizing and then executing. But if all you're doing is clamming down, getting scared, listening to this virus called the media, and that's all types of media, then you're failing to prepare, and ultimately that's preparing for failure. Folks, let's get out there, let's kill it, let's acquire what we need in order to execute and live the life that we so desire. I appreciate you. Cheers.